you're well. Today's recipe is Aloo Gobhi, which is a curry made from potatoes and cauliflower. This is one of my favourite vegetarian dishes. So let me tell you what ingredients we'll be needing today. Let's begin with the spices. So today we'll be needing half a teaspoon of red chilli powder, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, half a teaspoon of Kashmiri Chilli Flakes, 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of Garam Masala, 1 teaspoon of Cumin Seeds. Whole spices are cinnamon, 2 cloves, some green chilies, 2 bay leaves and 4 cardamom pods. We'll also be needing about 4 medium-sized potatoes, some garlic and ginger to make some paste, some ginger and garlic paste, 1 brown onion, a medium-sized cauliflower and some coriander to garnish. Okay, so I have been busy chopping everything up that we're going to be needing for the first stage. So I'd like to show you my onions, which I've finally cut into slithers. I'm just going to wait for my pan to heat up and then I'm going to add these to the oil. I've also prepared my 4 medium-sized potatoes and cut them into sort of medium-sized cubes, and I've also prepared the cauliflower as well. So while my pan's heating up, I'm just going to add the oil. So it's just enough to sort of cover the pan a little bit, and we just want enough so that those onions can go a nice brown colour. That'll be enough. So once the pan is nicely heated, I will then add the onions. So I think the oil is nice and hot now. Perfect. So all the onions go in. Now that the oil is nice and hot, I'm just going to turn my heat down to a low to medium heat so that they just cook the onions nicely. So I'm waiting for them to go a nice brown colour. So while my onions are nicely turning a nice golden colour, I've just been busy chopping the garlic and ginger. So I've got about 1 inch worth of ginger and 4 garlic cloves, and I'm now going to just grind those together, just enough to sort of break them up. I'm still going to leave a little texture for this recipe, so not as fine as a ginger and garlic paste. So as you can see, the ginger and garlic paste has just been crushed together. It's not a fine paste, but it's just kind of kept a slight texture just for this particular dish. So I'm going to now add this to the onions. So in it all goes. Now I'm just going to fry that together. Just keep it moving so that the garlic and ginger don't stick to the bottom. So I've just been frying the ginger, garlic and onions for about 30 seconds, and it's now time to add the spices. I've also had my kettle with boiling water ready. So into this goes the Kashmiri Chilli Flakes, the turmeric, the red chilli powder and the coriander powder. So in all of this goes. Give it a little stir, and at this point I'll also add the dry ingredients, which is the whole spice, the cumin seeds, bay leaves, the cinnamon, cloves and the cardamom. I'm just going to fry those together for 15 seconds, and then I'm going to add the water. just a splash will do. And just keep mixing it. So I have been frying my onions and spices for about a minute, and the masala is looking really nice. The oil is beginning to separate. So it's now time to add the potatoes. So my potatoes have been frying together with the onions and the spices, just to let that spice absorb into the potatoes. It's a really nice thing to do before adding the water and letting them soften. So now that I've done that for a minute or so, I'm just going to add the boiling water, and it's just enough to sort of cover them to let the potatoes soften. And I'm now just going to pop the lid on and turn it down to a low heat and let that simmer. In the meantime, I'll just explain about how I prepared my cauliflower. So it's in some cold water with a pinch of salt, and it's just going to soak there until it's ready to be added to the dish. This will just keep the colour really nice and fresh and help the cauliflower cook. I'm just going to check the potatoes. They've been cooking for 10 minutes now with the lid on. They are still firm and still need some time to cook, but they have begun to start to soften. So I am now going to add the cauliflower. There is plenty of water left, so I won't be adding any more water. This should be enough, to cook both the cauliflower and potato. So I'm just going to empty this water out that it's been soaking in. You don't need to worry about washing the cauliflower, as I know it's been sitting in the salt, but that's fine, it'll just add to the flavour. So this is just going to go straight in now. And I'm also going to mix this together until the cauliflower turns a nice yellow colour from that turmeric. And I'll also add the salt as well at this point. So let's just recap. So I have been cooking the potatoes with the lid covered for about 10 minutes, and then joining the potatoes was the cauliflower, and that also cooked for a further 15 minutes. So altogether the cooking process has been about 25 to 30 minutes. So now let's check on how it's getting on. It smells lovely. Just going to give it a little mix. Just check everything is cooked nicely. And I'm quite happy with that. The masala is reduced quite a lot. There's still a little bit of water in there, so it's perfect time to add the green chilies. I like them with a bit of a crunch, but a little bit soft as well. That in between. So in those go, and I'm just going to give that a little stir. That masala's coming along nicely. So now the key is just to wait for that oil to separate once your vegetables are cooked through. And then it should be ready. So I think what I'll do now is I'll just pop the lid back on and turn the heat off, and just let it rest for 5 minutes, and then we'll be ready to garnish with the coriander. So it's been 5 minutes later of it resting, so let's have a look how it's getting on. It smells wonderful. So I'm just going to garnish now. I'm going to garnish with some Garam Masala. So I'm just going to sprinkle it all over, creating a nice dusting. This will just give another layer of flavour and heat. I think it goes really well with aloo gobi. And then of course some fresh coriander leaves. I'm just preparing some roti so I can try my aloo gobi. So it looks like this. I've just garnished on this plate with a little extra garam masala and the fresh coriander, and I can't wait to try it. So the best time of the evening has arrived. It's time to try. So I'm going to get a little bit of potato and cauliflower. If that isn't comfort food, I don't know what it is. That is so nice. You can really taste all the whole spices. It's simple but full of flavour, really warming. I totally recommend that you try this if you haven't done already, because I'm a big lover of aloo gobi. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like this video, and I hope to see you again next time. Take care. Bye.